Hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel.
Hi Raj.
Hi Ankita.
Actually, I have a question for you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I'm preparing for data science, so I know the concepts, but the thing is, I want to know what could be the live scenarios. So can you help me out with like how can we do feature engineering, model building, and deploying of models in real time scenarios?
Yeah, Ankita, for sure. So, the problem what happened with the learners. So, they know the concept, they have some hands on, but since they do not have hands on the live real time projects, so they don't know like what is the business outcome, what they are doing. So, I will try to bring one use case that can help you to understand from end to end how we can do the model building, how can we can do feature exercise.
That would really be great.
So let's get started.
Okay.
So today we are going to do in this series predictive analysis on mobile user demographic dataset. I have taken this dataset from Kaggle. The interesting part of this dataset is like it is not having a many features. So that comes a real-time challenge that sometimes you will not find many features when you have to do the predictions, and you will see there are the multiple source of the data. So how you can club those data and you can bring best of it so that your model is performance is very good. And so all this there will be some challenges, and it's the business use case is also very you can connect to it.
Okay.
So today's agenda is like very first we'll go to look to the data set, what we have, and then we'll understand. Very first is like setting up the perspective, like what is the business use case by using this machine learning, model building, and all these things. What problem at the end you are solving? So that is very important to understand. And in the objective section, we will explore like what is our target variable and what predictions we are going to do. And in the ML lifecycle, we are going to talk about journal, like what is the process of doing all those steps in our data science, from data exploration to the model deployment. And in the data part, we will do a deep dive to understand like more on the data exploratory analysis to understand like what are the features and how they are correlated with our target variables. And in the model building exercise, we are going to explore more on the which model we have to choose, and then finally we'll do the deployment. So finally, setting up like what is our business use case for this. Suppose Ankita, you are running a shoe company and you have a requirement that you want to run an advertisement, but you want that your advertisement should be accurate, should be to the targeted audience. So that suppose you have some fitness shoe product line, and you want that your advertisement for the fitness shoe, or you recommend somewhere on the social platform, it should be the audience who is more fitness enthusiast, either male or female, and maybe you have some product for specific for the female gender group. So it could be a very good use case for you, for your business, that you can target a specific age group, or you can target specific gender, or mix of both. So this is the our business use case we are going to do by doing the model building exercise on this data set. So let's talk about a little bit data. So this talking data SDK is the one of the company in the China, which is the largest firm. They used to build a third-party SDK which collects data from your mobile application. So whatever interaction you are doing with your mobile application, suppose you have a 10 to 15, nowadays I think mostly people are having 20 to 30 apps. So whatever the interaction they are doing with the apps for that particular device model, they are capturing their activity, but they do take your consent, so that they take your geolocations and they capture your date time, and they capture how many events are get triggered, and at what time, means what is the time you are spending most on which app, so that we can know like what is your preferences, so that we can run the we can recommend the same kind of product to you. So this is the so they have given this data on the Kaggle, and they, so this data look very interesting. If you see, this is a schema I put down. So we have device ID, the gender and the age group, and then we have a device model and device brand. Suppose you're using Sony, then Samsung, Galaxy, all these models we have. And then what are the event which are happening on those. So suppose you are opening WhatsApp, and that event ID get triggered, and at what timestamp, or morning, evening, when you're commuting, you are using more on the social media, all those kind of events it get captured here. Then we have a relation with the app events. So basically it capture like, is that app is installed, or is that app is active, and then this event is captured. And then we have these IDs, means what categories of the app you are using. You are using a fashion app, or using a sports app, or using a food delivery app. So all this information we have. So the interesting part of this data set, if you see, like we do mostly we combine all this, we'll find 5 to 6 feature vector.
Okay. So what are the target variables here?
Yeah, that's very good question. So what we are going to do, so what happened for your running your campaign, suppose that personalized advertisement. So you would be looking for a particular age group and particular gender. So our target variable will be here age and the gender, so that we can, because most of the time you will not have those data. So from this historical data, we can predict that age group and the gender, and so that you can run your advertisement.
Okay. So can you talk more about this machine learning life cycle?
Yeah, sure. That was a part of my agenda. So basically, the machine learning life cycle. This is a very generic. You can, I think, you have studied in curriculum also. Basically, we do very first we start with EDA to understand what is your data. Then, because you don't know what your data is, so it's very difficult to bring the or go into the next step, like doing the feature engineering and all those. So for example, here we have a 4 data set, or one is related to the mobile brand, and what is related to the event and the applications, and some metadata that your app is active or not, and your training event means your latitude, longitude, and at what time stamp the event triggered. So all this on each data set we will do EDA, we will understand our data, and we'll see the correlation with our feature and the target variable, and we do some kind of a cleaning stuff and all those things. Then we go to the next is the feature engineering, where we try to see like with the existing features, can we create a new feature? Because if you see the challenges here, we have 5 to 6 features. So what happened when you do the feature engineering, sometimes you found, when you do EDA, sometimes you found, okay, we can create one more feature out of this existing feature, which can be good for our model building exercise. We'll see in the detail when we'll come into the next video of the feature engineering. Then we select our feature, because you have, suppose you have created 10 to 15 feature, but you will see like which feature is working for you.
Okay.
Then we do that and exercise in the feature selection. Then next we have we do the model building exercise. So just to give an idea like what model algorithms, machine learning algorithms they are going to do. So that is, one is logistic regression and XGBoost, model stacking. So all this is belong to the classification algorithms. So basically what we are going to do is the gender, male or female, that is a classification, and the age sometimes you can consider as a linear, continuous variables, so you can use a linear regression. But here I am feel like you don't want a particular age, like it is he's in 22 or 23. You need some set of age group when you have to recommend your advertisement, or when you want personalized advertisement. So I'm taking both as a categorical variable. So we are mostly going to learn on the classification algorithms. Then we are going to evaluate which model is working best for us among all these 3 models. Then that final model we will going to deploy, and will plug into the real data set so you can see like how it's go, and will bring some business rules so that you can run your advertisement.
Okay, that's great to know. So I'm really excited to understand and implement this in my real-time scenarios projects. So
So
thank you, Raj.
thank you Ankita joining for this, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.